In the vast sun-baked lands of sub-Saharan Africa, where the wind whispers through the tall golden grasses and the acacia trees stand like silent guardians of time, the African elephant roams with unmatched majesty, a living monument of nature's grandeur, whose presence commands both reverence and awe, for it is not merely a creature of size, though it is the largest land mammal on Earth, reaching heights of up to 13 feet at the shoulder and weighing as much as 14,000 pounds, but a symbol of memory, of family, of survival in one of the harshest yet most beautiful ecosystems in the world. With its massive flapping ears that resemble the shape of the continent itself, and its long, powerful trunk, capable of delicate gestures and thunderous roars, the African elephant embodies both gentleness and strength in a way that few creatures on this planet can match, and as it treads slowly across the plains, each footstep leaving deep prints in the dusty earth, it carries with it generations of stories carved into its DNA, into the folds of its wrinkled skin, into the rhythm of its long migrations across savannas, forests, and riverbeds. Elephants live not as solitary beasts, but in deeply bonded herds, led by a matriarch whose wisdom is drawn from decades of experience, guiding her family through drought, danger, and abundance, teaching the young how to find water hidden beneath the soil and how to mourn the fallen when death inevitably visits. Yes, these giants grieve, returning to the bones of their ancestors and standing in silence, caressing the remains with their trunks in a display of emotional intelligence that rivals our own. And their relationships are not confined by blood alone, but built on years of trust and loyalty, where even orphaned calves are taken in and protected with a tenderness that shatters the myth of animals being emotionless. Because to see an elephant, console another in distress, or trumpet in joy at a reunion, is to understand that nature speaks in a language far older than words. Their tusks, long curved and gleaming like ivory sabers, are not just tools for digging or defense, but extensions of their identity, tragically coveted by poachers and criminals. And yet elephants still walk forward, burdened not just by their immense size, but by the threat humans have placed upon their existence. From illegal hunting to shrinking habitats, from climate shifts to broken migration paths, but still they move with grace and endurance, mothers shielding their calves with their massive bodies, males battling for dominance in thunderous clashes, and the matriarchs remembering every root, every waterhole, every hidden place that once saved their herd. And even now, as we watch them on screens or from safari jeeps, there is a silent plea in their gaze, a question they do not ask with words, but with presence. Will you protect us, or will you forget us? Because these gentle giants hold within them the past of our shared earth. They walked among the early humans, saw the rise of civilizations, and now stand at the edge of extinction, caused not by time, but by greed. And yet, in every swaying step, in every dust-covered calf following its mother, there is resilience, there is spirit, there is a heartbeat that refuses to go quietly into the night. For the African elephant is not just a creature. It is a cathedral of life on four legs. It is thunder and silence, power and vulnerability. It is a lesson written in shadow and sunlight, across skin as rough as bark and eyes as deep as sorrow. And to tell its story is not simply to describe its features, but to witness the miracle of survival itself, the miracle of something so large, being so careful with the earth it walks upon, the miracle of memory passed not through pages, but through footsteps and rumbling calls that echo across the savannah like sacred hymns of the wild. Because when an African elephant lifts its trunk to the sky and lets out a low rumbling call, it is not just communication. It is a song of its ancestors, a declaration of presence in a world that is rapidly changing around it, a world where the grasslands are replaced by roads, the rivers are choked by pollution, and the silence of poached forests echoes louder than the thunder of hooves. And yet these mighty beings persist, raising their young, teaching them how to strip bark from trees for food, how to splash joyfully in riverbeds during the rainy season, how to stand their ground when lions approach, and how to find their way. Across hundreds of miles without maps, guided only by memory, instinct, and the wisdom of those who walked before them. They are architects of the wild, breaking branches to let sunlight reach the forest floor, digging waterholes that other animals depend on, shaping their environment not with machines, but with patience and presence, and in doing so, reminding us that true power does not dominate, it nurtures. And when an elephant dies, the forest holds its breath, the herd gathers around, they touch the body, they stand in quiet mourning. They may stay for hours or even return days later, because elephants remember, and their memories stretch beyond the immediate, beyond survival, into the emotional tapestry of loss and love. Just as they remember joy, the moment a calf is born, the way the herd trumpets in celebration, how the older sisters rush to greet the newcomer, wrapping their trunks around it, helping it stand for the first time. And what we so often fail to see is that these are not behaviors born of instinct alone. They are rituals, social codes, signs of deep and ancient intelligence that connects each elephant not just to its own kind, but to the spirit of the land itself. And when you look into their eyes, dark, deep, almost human in their expression, you feel the weight of thousands of years of experience looking back at you, not judging, not pleading, just waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be understood. And perhaps the tragedy of the elephant is not just that it is endangered, but that we, the so-called wise species, have taken so long to recognize its wisdom, have failed to honor the giants that once walked beside us in the stories of every continent, from cave paintings to ancient myths, and now we are left with only